Only one that I do not be getting tapped into by the systems of this world. And even then, get rid of that radio. Because they might be able to find you through it. Artificial general intelligence is a beast. Don't nobody know what it can do. It might even be able to tap into analog systems. I don't know. The UPUs, they own cars. Because listen, AGI, is that not... I guess it's a machine learning. Y'all can operate an analog clock. Y'all can operate an analog system. Y'all can go back to old school computers, reverse engineer them, even though you only know how to use modern day software systems, operating systems. You can only use iOS, you can only use Mac OS, you can only use Windows XP, you can only use etc. Yeah, because that's what you grew up with. But Maseku Shu, and you have to figure stuff out. You'll know how to use an old school computer, the kind that when it goes on, it shows you that IBM flash, and it's like all hectic and it's very windy. When it switches on, it goes like it's blowing wind. You're gonna have to figure out how to use that. You're gonna have to figure out how to use typewriters again. You're gonna be able to, yeah, you can reverse engineer as a human being. Anish, yeah. Going back to analog before the digital boom. What makes you think that artificial intelligence that learns from you is not gonna be able to figure out how to intercept analog systems? I told you, don't even keep radios. I told you, don't keep anything that is even the smallest little hint at computer software. Like, don't even bother. Don't. So get rid of radio. Get rid of electricity, electrically charged anything. Hey, yazen angasi grembel metis telecommunication poles. When we don't have electric, after a couple of hours, we also don't have Wi-Fi. Lezintos yakumo ikoloma. Electric, that one, maybe I'm just coming up out of it. Maybe we can still use Dodge. Somebody said Dodge and battery and get a whole bunch of them. It's like Duracell, because apparently they never say die. Let's test that advert out. That Duracell bunny better come through for you in the tribulation now. Hey, in the season of my sorrow, because I haven't had anything and people are treating me like rabbis. In the season before my mom got solar panels, God got grace for her sister. That's what's good. We got solar panels and Wi-Fi. Booyah, it's called luxury when you ain't got nothing to your name. Because you're living in some dichotomous space between the tribulation and the season of prosperity. But y'all just gonna be tribulation day in, day out. Yeah. Mara, before the tribulation ended in my life pertaining resources, I have a Mac computer that plugs into a socket here. Woo! The day I walked into Apple Store go for Ways Mall and I bought a Mac computer instead of a MacBook Pro laptop. I was just impressed by the big screen. So I bought a Mac computer that plugs in. Why would a dumb woman that does not have money go and buy a computer that plugs into a socket in a country that's always turning off power? But I wasn't thinking. Because I was literally torn between a laptop and a Mac computer. Sister Grubby Aja buying a Mac computer that plugs in. Man, oh man, did this computer from me. My computer would not even have these kind of glitches and issues if it wasn't for load shedding. Load shedding reached an nth degree of cray-cray epidemic proportions in this country, ne? Until I was like, why did I buy Mac? Ah! Ooh, it hurts. Ah! Why does it hurt everywhere? It's touch me anywhere and it'll just sting. Why did I buy a computer? Instead of one that is a laptop. Battery be able to linger me all the way up until thingy's back, all the way up until load shedding is eradicated. I was so fra, my computer would just die, and in that season when it's dead, I'd have to be like, a zombie, I'm just sitting here like a zombie, dead man walking. I was just flesh and blood thing, nothing more than flesh and blood. Yo, fry. And then the load shedding went from like 2 hours at least, and then it's back to 4 hours to 6 hours. Like yazin. And then there are the days when they be out just stealing cables, because this is South Africa. yeah. You know, South Africa. I keep saying that if I should probably do a Christian version of Childish Gambino's America. This is America for South Africa. Or falses, this is Nigeria for South Africa. And I'd be like, yeah, in this country, yeah, it's a crazy country, yeah, it's a ridiculous country, yeah, they be taking away your power, yeah. For 7 hours, some days they would steal, this is South Africa, like copper cables, whatever. Next thing, bah, never mind load shedding. Now it's not ESCOM, we'll give you that pass. It's just some like charlatans. It's just some barbarians, some bandits, mapantiti, hebato. Next thing, you don't have power for 2.5 to 3 days. Yo, guys, you see this depression that every so often slaps me because I've got occult practitioners all up in my hair like dandruff. Yo, this time around it's just yawning at you. What's not next to do? Twiddling your fingers. All you have for heat is hot water bottle. There's nothing you can do except eat. And Nakona, to eat, so I made my mom get a gas stove during that time before she got solar panels. I made her get a gas stove, yo. I made the lady get a gas stove. Because I was like, we can't be out here eating some cold food because some dudes decide that they're going to be bandits and steal our copper cables now. Come on. Come on. Either buy a prema stove or get a gas stove. My mama out to be twiddling her fingers, taking a merry time. But finally, she was also so frustrated that she was like, Dan, have you ever eaten chicken? Yalla. Chicken. What's a chicken in Afrikaans? Of course. I know that ain't right. Come on. Why is this word eluding me? Chicken. I wanted a hen. Chicken. A chicken in Africa. In Africa, hoender. I remember, back in the day, I would remember, Afrikaans, last time I did it so long ago. Anyway, have you ever eaten, het jy hoender geëet wat koud is? Hoender wat koud is. Except, of course, if it's like chicken licking hot wings, those you can eat with whatever temperature. But every other hoender, you will feel like you're eating regular, like bostik, prestik, something, bruh. And it's landing in your teeth and all that, what you call this thing? That oil, those mafura that you cook with, it's all solidified now. It's solidified. So it's like, it's just like, I don't know, like, it's like, when it lands on your tongue, you can taste that you just ate like lifura. You just ate fat, like a fat. You just like, you might as well have grabbed sunflower oil and just been like and drink it. Just like try to bite into chicken, into a hoender. Hoender. Even if it's your favorite part, like the chicken leg or whatever, like the wing. Chew it when it's cold. Chew it when it's cold, and then you are encountering all that sunflower oil on your tongue too. No salt help, no pepper, no Worcester sauce, no Tabasco, nothing. No steer sauce work. Eradicate the fact that chicken, you need to put it in the microwave like 10 times before all that oil come out. All that oil come out. Every time, have you ever this guy, like, you put chicken in your pot, you cook it, the hoender, and then the hoender comes out all cooking. You put it in your refrigerator, in your ijskast. You put the hoender in the ijskast. And then when you bring it out next time, it's like you never cook it. Next thing, there's all this oil in the center. And then when you put it on your plate and you put it in the microwave, next thing your microwave is like swimming around it like it's in a pond of all this oil. Like, but like, then I take the oil out, and on top of that, when I took out the chicken, the hoender from the pot, it was just a hoender by itself. Next thing, when it's on your plate, it's like swimming in oil. You wonder, but where is this mafura coming? All of it just being drained and drained and drained. Drained like a stomach that is running, but your chicken is running oil. You're like, so much oil. And if you forget that chicken, you forget it on the microwave, and you go to work and you come back. And now all that oil has like frozen around the chicken. It's just sitting there in like an icy lake, like by those people that be ice skating on dangerous terrain because the river went all icy because it was winter. They play dangerous, they daredevil, those ones, They think they're MacGyver, they can fix everything anyway, whatever they Rambo, they Chuck Norris them. Now here's your chicken is making like Chuck Norris. Your chicken is your hoender is Chuck Norris. It's ice skating because all the oil is now frozen around it. But because you're disgusted by all this oil, you go and you pick it, and then you lift your chicken, you lift your hoender, just your leg of your hoender from this like ice rink. You throw the plate in the sink, you grab another one, and you put this hoender on a new plate, and then microwave again 30 seconds, 1 minute. Come out to another pond. It's like, but didn't the first pond come out already? Didn't the first lake come out? It's like digging for gold, You never know. If you dig deeper, you might find more gold. Inside there's more gold, otherwise known as mafura, fat, just coming out of your chicken. It has no self-control, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a bile, that thing that's very healthy, they call it a superfood or whatever. Chicken broth, maybe it's broth, I don't know, but it goes solidified, solidifies with an ice rink, Yeah, your chicken for a second time now it's got an ice rink. And if you were to do that 4 more times, you still be getting little ice rings, but they get smaller and smaller. Don't know, this chicken is so small, and yet it's got all this mafura in it. Now imagine all those mafura without the microwave, without the stove, without heat, What? You're gonna be eating like ice rink ice just like that, the way it is. And you just like bite into it and you expect your teeth not to crack. chicken feels like bostik, and on top of that bostik with sunflower oil, just you drinking it to eat a cold piece of chicken. It's impossible. I don't know about you guys, but me, I can't handle. I can't deal. So I was very frightened because it's like, okay, so if there's no power, I can't eat the chicken. I have to eat cheese, and I'm not a big fan, especially considering I prefer processed cheese, but my mom actually always buying Gouda. Like, no, I don't want cheese. I don't want egg. I don't want egg. Besides, I can't make egg, right? I don't want egg. I can't cook. And not seeing that his heat. 2 days. Because somebody decided to go and steal our copper cables. 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days. And of course, boetie second dag, sy sal a bad het, a shower take by a coat that is. And if you can't handle the coat, nee, if it's not summer, but like those low shedding winters, you know, those ones that make you do this with your eyes, nee. Yo, those ones, you will be dirty for 3 days until they bring back the power, because me for what? For who am I gonna go make myself an icicle? I don't want hypothermia. Dream on, I don't want hypothermia. Anyway, what, you know, I'm looking for a nail file, guys. Me, I found it. You know when you're looking for tea and next thing is like right in front of your eye. Looking for nail file. Anyway, no, not looking for nail file. You take a cold shower, and then after taking a cold shower, you need to go and drink sunflower oil right next to rubber bostik in your mouth in the chicken. Now, I don't eat red meat, ne? But I bet you all have got similar stories about red meat. You know, when the mafura portion of red meat, back in the day, I used to eat red meat when I was still in primary. The mafura portion of red meat, yeah, no, that's a ready, ne? And it's like, yo, Mark, very bilious. You'll be frogans dibiti. You will feel so disgusting just trying to eat into that. And again, the mafura, especially on the red meat, is even worse than the chicken. The red meat is just sitting on the surface over there. You see it, it's white as day, like snow. It's like they've sprinkled it with coconuts. The way that it's so much oil on there, and they expect you to put that in your mouth. They expect you to eat that because you can't put it in the microwave. You can't put it on the stove, nothing. There's nothing warm there to heat this stuff up. So sick and tired of dealing with ice ring chicken, sick and tired of dealing with ice ring steak. And eventually my mom was also like, you know what, ek is moeg out my mind. Ek sal mal wees if I keep on eating more hoenders that are like bostik. So my miserly mother, my somnganga somtsumpareng mother, her money is like somnganga somtsumpareng, like a tight bogatni, like a tight jean, very skinny, very, very, very mar person, but still wearing very tight things. Like, but really, you're so mar. Why are you wearing tight stuff? Where did you find such tight things for such a skinny girl in the kiddie section? That's you. Your hair sharing. Anyway, my mother's somnganga pocket eventually went and stretched out. It became like stretchy material. It just let go, let loose, and she finally invested in a gas stove. In a gas stove, and finally when the gas stove was here, now, oh my god, you know, during that time, it was so bad, guys. Like 2 days, you couldn't even boil the water for the hot water pot or nothing. You have to go and warm yourself with body heat. You have no husband, you have nothing to help the process along. You're just sitting there, you're freezing, so it's an icicle, and you just have to deal with the fact you can't even make a hot water bottle. You can't even make a hot water bottle, nee, julle. Wat? Dis nie this is not the way to live, nee. Dis nie 'n life die. As ek dis sal my dood wees môre vandag. Any minute from now I'm gonna die, nee. I'm gonna die. I just saw dood wees on the street and the fact is lights out. Anyway, she finally got the gas stove, so no more rekere, nee, no more bostik. And no more wellspring of life just around the hoender. No more mafura. No more fat. No more eating rubbish meat because we now got gas stove. But that was because of the electricity issue in the country. Well, I mean, there was a fra with eating the hoender as a lerekere in my mond. And then there was no the fra over and above eating rekere bostik hoender. Now my computer also is just dead. Like dead. So it's a door and it's just dead. What? Ek het nie geld nie. Maybe the reason why my mother took so long to even get a gas stove, ne, was because she at least got to go to her work, ne. During the day, she got to go to the office. And during the office day, she be charging her laptop. There's electricity in the office. She's twirling on her chair. There's a heater in the office. Everything is working. So when she come home, it's only a few hours of disquiet and then she fall asleep. Me, the whole day, die hele dag, ek sit hier so. Soos 'n toestel, soos 'n zombie hele, en ek voel like, oh God, Here, ek sal my life take. I will kill myself. Bring back the electricity supernaturally. Bring it only to my property because your God, you can do miracle. You stop the sun for Joshua. Anything, because right now I'm feeling very suicidal. Literally, guys, I'm feeling very suicidal because the resources of the 21st century made me that lazy. They made me that spoiled brat. Sorry, I wanted to say spoiled brat. The resource of the 21st century made me spoiled brat to a point where you feel like you can commit suicide because there's no electricity. You feel like you can commit suicide because there's no gas stove. Where's the matches? Where's the ander plan, julle boers. Julle maak 'n plan, maar nie of die 21st century, die firste en 20th century. Julle maak nie plan nie, boere, omdat julle is used van die elektrisiteit. Julle is used van die, what is this, the microwave. But now, boer, julle maak 'n plan weer. You will go back to Flintstones. Yes, the Flintstones. And say, you will discover how to burn rock together so as to bring a spark, nee, julle. And then you will get electricity in the form of fire. Julle sal vuur maak. Hoor me? So maybe at the beginning of the tribulation, just gather a whole bunch of matchsticks. If you're so lazy to make like a caveman, like a khoisan, like a bit of an old school person in the bush there, making like a khoisan, yeah. Now, if you don't want to live the life of the khoisan, you'll just go and grab matches and make life easy for you. Now, go and grab lighters, yalla. I mean, I used to smoke cigarette. I know that a lighter can last you months, sometimes without you refilling it. So just buy like 5 or 10 or 20 lighters, and in the tribulation, you'll then keep on lighting up your fires. But yalla sal maak soos Lebo Matosa in daai's speletjie. Die music, nee, that I just did, die UPUs, they own cars, making them their homes. Oh, so, que se goloto. That's what you owe die Here. Jou beers was vet met indiscretion. Nou vandag sal jy humble gewees. You'll be equalized, nee. With the next person on the left and on the right, you'll all be owning your never mind electric cars. You gotta throw away that Tesla, nee. You gotta throw away that vehicle of yours that actually can charge your cell phone device. Get rid of your cell phone device. You gotta get rid of your phone that has got Bluetooth in it. Your phone that can connect to Wi-Fi when you get home, or from your own your vehicle in and of itself as a router. Never again. Because they will find you. That Starlink in the skies after circling already in the atmosphere. Like as a satellite, you're not gonna be safe. So masters the UBUs and Lebo Matosa sa speletjie sa song nee. And just be like, the saints of the tribulation, they own cars, making them their homes. But none of them are electrical. None of them can charge phones. None of them got Bluetooths. None of them got electrical wiring. None of them can ping onto a signal. It's that old school van that is Sudu Baki van die oom Piet. Wat sal jou vra wees, maar you know what, it moves. And on top of that, the heater can make you a little bit better. Just idle and you feel a little bit better. And then on top of that, you can sleep in it. And on top of that, it can help you do your rounds. But if you get caught with it, you get caught. But maybe it can last you perhaps the first year of the Mark of the Beast reign. After that, they're going past you driving a car. What are you doing with a car? What are you doing? Who's there with a car? And even then, it's outlawed. We don't want cars that are emitting carbon. So what are you doing with it? Because all we're doing is electric now. Then they're going to bomb you on the street. They're going to find you. But at least you will have had 1 year of reprieve. Because before the Antichrist system and the Mark of the Beast, y'all can drive around your electric cars. But you're going to have to abandon them like the Jews. Flee to the mountains of Judea or the mountains of South Africa. Go to Drakensberg mountains. Go anywhere you can go. Kilimanjaro, Mount Everest. Go wherever you want to go to the mountain. Hide there. And you can drive for the first year, maybe after the 3.5 year mark has been reached, maybe in year 4.5. Yeah, maybe you'll have a bakkie. But after that, they won't find it. Why wouldn't they find it? The drones of the Antichrist, they're busy following you around with heat thermal signatures all over the cell. They find you and your breath. They find you and your movement. They go and they identify you wherever you be spotted. Next thing they're calling you in, holding you, handling with the washing, and they're telling you that you're gonna have your hair chopped off, but not first before they go and carry your hair. And they go and they stab you in the face, and then they go and they say, tell me where your mother is. They then say, tell me where your mother is and where your baby is, because I can see that you are clearly a new mom. Because look at your shirt over here. Your shirt, I can see through your shirt that you breastfeeding. Because you don't even have a breast pump, and so now you've got 2 rings around your breast. Was your babakie? And was your ma, your pa, your tanya, your oom, your opa? Was alle jy family? Tell me. Next thing they interrogate you, they stab you, they tell you what? You're gonna recant. You're gonna take the Mark of the Beast, or else by then your bakkie, where is it? Where is it? It's gone, but at least you had a year. You know, y'all gonna be living in your cars. I'm just saying, right? So during this time, my laptop, my computer gave me so much fry because it plugged into a socket, and I have so much regret on that day. I was like, but I was inside the iStore. I had so much money in the beginning. After my pension money paid me out, I wanted a computer. I knew I needed one. Otherwise, I was not gonna be able to look for a job. I was not gonna be able to do anything. And I go and I buy a computer cash, and then stupid me, I live in South Africa. It's been a problem this whole time. And I buy a plug-in computer for what? Still to this day, I have so much regret. During the power cuts, not only was the hoender hard like a rekker, not only was my computer always switching off, but because it kept on switching off all the time, in the middle of edits, it switched off. Everything switched off, finally short circuit, and now everything is so slow. So my computer died so fast. I was like, yo, if this woman does not get solar panels, if this electricity situation does not get corrected, I won't have computer no more. But that's just the thing, right? Jesus knew that I needed my computer, so he not only calls my mother to go and get gas stove. So now we have a gas stove where we can heat our chicken, our hoender is at least no longer gonna be oil in our mouths, drinking it like a sunflower liquid. No more then are we going to be dealing with cold food, with gas, even though you don't like gas, at least not gouda, you like processed cheese. Give me Parmalat. I wanted the Parmalat, but you know, my mother and Parmalat, they don't get along. So I was like, yo, what? I can't deal with situation. Peanut butter and bread, come on, that's children food. I don't want it anymore. What must I do? What must I do? And then next thing, we get gas stove, yella. So after the gas stove, yella. After the gas stove, at least now we could light a candle. That was the only source of light before the gas stove, not a candle. But candle is not going to be warming your food now, is that? Unless you want to burn the whole house down by putting 10 candles on the stove and hoping that all of them will just burn your food. No hot food. So the candles were our only source of light. Can't boil water with a candle unless you are MacGyver. Like I said, you think you fix everything, you're a scientist. Yeah. Can't make like the Kasi and create an umbrella, because in these modern day complexes, you don't even have a braai stand outside unless you've got too much money. You don't have nothing that you can just make hot for a minute so that you can work. So when you've got the power cut for 3 days because of Izinyonga, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Finally, she get the gas stove, guys, not the gas stove. Finally, I could then at least cook my food again. I could go and warm it. I could go and get the hot water bottle by boiling the water on the stove. Finally, at least a little bit of my life came back again. I could eat delicious food, without feeling all sorry for myself. A little bit of a tear just coming down my eyes. Ek huil omdat my chicken is like bostie julle hoe ek huil. Ek huil hard soos die reën julle. Ek huil hard soos die reën. Maar ek was a little bit comforted. Julle comforted because at least now we've got a gas stove. But it was not long before I got fry again because Lezi Nyonga still to this day they're busy stealing cables. And when there's a Zinyonga issue, 2-3 days, easy. No power, easy. Over and above Eskom giving us problem. Now there's this Zinyonga nonsense people. Finally, my mother was like, you know what? No, I'm never going to do this thing again. I don't want my television. I don't want to have to go and replace my TV every 5 years. I don't want to have to go and replace all my kitchen appliances every 2 years. Even with a warranty, they're going to give me problem because I can't even remember where my slip is. I'm never going to do this thing. And then, you know what? Because here it is, and I have to go and buy a new baza over television flat screen again. A VV. Like a baza with a 52-inch again. Gekoop. Omdat die short-circuiting load shedding is destroying my life. It's destroying my money. It's woozering out of my pocket. Like I've got, water inside a bucket out here that's got holes in it. It's just pouring, everything's coming out. Never. So I'm going to interrogate and investigate when then I get a big bonus at the job there to find out what it's going to cost to install the solar panels. And next thing, 1, 2, 3, we got solar power. So now with solar power, we've got 24-hour electricity, even when you guys are out here being arme skepsels, huiling, soos die Niagara Falls, julle, ek is so jammer. Ons huil nie, omdat ons het solar panels, The Lord had ons a solution gegee, and these solar panels enabled my computer so it doesn't pass away once and for all. But it is on its way out, it's choking, but it's gonna make it until the rapture. But the problem here is that you suffocate me so bad that I couldn't even, because now we're dealing with load shedding. Because we're dealing with low setting, like I wish I had money. I was like, oh, if I had money, I would go to a hotel. Hotel would have what they call, not booster cable, what you call this thing, generator. The hotel had the generator. Next thing, there's also going to be Wi-Fi. So I'll be at the hotel for the duration of time when there's a power cut. But where? With what money? Waar is my geld, julle? Julle roep my geld soos jou kind op die school playground. Dirty with the ashy knees. Julle roep my geld. You call my geld from the wilderness and you bring it forward. And I'm like, you know what? Do you make your wealth transfers, Do what you wanna do, make your wealth transfers, yella. Do what you wanna do. Do it. But understand that after you do it, you're gonna do it fierce. Because the year has a bone to pick with it. You took my money away, so now I could not do anything about the fact that I have no power. I've got no coffee. I've got no tea, nothing. I'm just sitting here in the freezing cold for another 3 days because of Izinyonga. Y'all never understand, for Angela, the Lord has come through for me. He's come through for me in the worst way. In the worst way, yella. In the worst way. Anyway, whatever, so I'm busy telling a story. So finally, they get I could not go to a hotel, but the Lord see my friend, and he see that every time that these podcasts, especially the ones that last days on end, that they cause me a lot of suicide ideation. I'm like, I might as well die because I'm not enabled. Where are you? You never give me what I want. I've been asking all this time, where's a job? I've been asking, where's my husband, my children? Where's my money? Julle roep my geld soos 'n kinder op die school playground, and now everything is gone. What's wrong? I'm gonna go and end myself, and you better not take me to hell. I'm having attitude at Jesus, giving him all that grief, holding him with the washing, because, blasphemy, when you suffocating from resources, when you don't have your basic flesh needs, you will be blasphemous, you will be blasphemous, you will be telling die Here, ek weet nie wat sy doen, maar sy's nie God nie. You will literally tell God that he is not God. You will literally say to the Lord, you don't know what you're doing. Because how do you expect me to survive a situation like this? And yes, you'll be singing him dumb music. I'm only human, after all. I'm only human, after all. Don't take a jab at me. You be singing stupid music to the Here. Oh my goodness, nobody like this hearing. The prop at the back of it fell away. Just like the great apostasy. Next thing I don't know where to find it. And next thing I'm not looking cute anymore. But I went and I adorned myself with jewelry like I'm Esther for a year. And anything is all gone. I need my earring. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm gonna grab it from here, but then it's gonna be nothing over to stop at the back of anything. Anyway, whatever. So I'm doing this stuff and I'm like running. I'm complaining at the Here. I'm so blasphemous. So blasphemous, but then, the thing that I was talking about earlier, he knows that we are made of dust. So he has compassion on us. He knows, say, Ruli, say, Lakes was the Kalahari Desert, nothing is good with you. So Christ will have your back even when you're full of blasphemy, guys. Blasphemy telling him, but you don't know me, I'm human, I'm only fallible. Next thing you expect me to survive like I'm Gakara, like I'm Chuck Norris. Expect me to be Chuck Norris here in the street. With no power, how am I supposed to survive? I don't have a job, I don't have a car, I can't even go anywhere, can't do anything, I service it. My battery is dead, alles is do it. So might as well do it this also. Jesus was like, look at this one with little faith. She's provoking me. So because the Lord had mercy, he caused the fra to also come in my man. He caused the fra to come in the person that can experience the fra. And you know how the fra came here, like the frustration. Thank God, Romans 8:28, all things work out together for the good of them who love Jesus and are called according to his purpose. But like, where's my prop, julle? Ek soek om my prop te vind. Hoekom los ek my prop? Ek sit op die bed, daar's nie baie plekke waar ek gaan loop hard, loop op 'n perd ry. There's no way I can go from this bed, so where is my prop, julle? Waar is die? Jy sê hy, dan sê hy, go fry you so much. Frustrate you, make you nar soos 'n narkie. Soos 'n narkie die vrug, omdat is 'n vrug, but also make you nar because it's so sour. I can't find the prop anyway, guys. I'm not finding from another place now. I'm gonna go and grab it somewhere else. But then it's gonna be missing from somewhere else. Next thing I'm gonna be like, Perana donkey, I don't like it. Just like unequal yoking, people are trying to Perana donkey me, and I'm like, I lost my 8, Lost my 8, you'll accommodate die silly lady called Jezebel, and next thing you want me to go and accommodate her too. I don't like her. I've been saying for a minute, she's not my type. She's not my kind of lady. I don't like to hang with her. She's not the kind of chick that on the school playground I choose her to go and play netball with the bati that she got on that scene. I would just leave her out and I would cause her persecution in the school playground. I would cause all the other children to bully her. So I don't know why you tried to mix me with Jezebel, because I wouldn't even be nice to her. Even though the Bible says that we need to be nice to our enemies, I would struggle with self-control. But you want to throw me into Jezebel. You are the one that tolerate her. The Bible says don't tolerate that woman Jezebel, but you tolerate her even though she feeds you food, sacrifice to idol, and give you sexual immorality. But you tolerate her. I don't like her. I cause her bully on the playground. I cause everybody to go and say to Jezebel, you know what, you did it, You did it. So a hooner. Say kijk around all over the show like a headless hooner. You're just walking around, kop nie hooner. And say you have no self-control, self-control. Self-control. So seeing as you cause me to be left behind, Jezebel, why must I be nice? Why must I be nice? Gee my antwoord, ek wag. Anyway, whatever, So it is net I go put my earring back on, What? Finally, the Lord then realized that you're my blasphemous servant. What is happening with this woman? My blasphemous servant. and then has compassion on me and remembers that I'm made of dust, and then causes, because of Romans 8:28, all team work out together for the good of them who love the Lord and are called according to his purposes. This pandemic nonsense, this corona stuff that slay everybody. Yeah, cause everybody to come and sit at home, chill like a flower, like a pot plant. Nee, my mama was a plant and they bloom. Nee, Max was a plant and they bloom. Nee. So here's the coronavirus coming out of nowhere, galloping like it's on a stallion because they think it's a jockey, ne? And then it ray up all of ons, so was pestilence dancing, and people start to pass away, and then they put mask on everybody's face, and they're like, yo, let your house be your mask now. So now everybody's house is a mask, ne, for corona. Everybody's house is a mask now. And so because everybody's house is a mask now, finally my mother got to experience my trauma, my sorrow, my pain. The fact that I sit around all day, yeah, and I look around on the left and on the right, and I discover that, I can't do this. How long must I keep on dealing with power cuts? All the days is power cut, I'm tired. No longer was my mother now sitting over there, far away, at a job while I'm suffocating from no power. Now she got to experience 3-day power cuts, and she was like, yo, dis koud op die, is a ijskast, is a winterkoud, to chill in die huis, 24 uur a dag, waar das nie elektrisiteit. Ek shake op die spot soos 'n leef. Ek kan nie. Finally, Yella, she decided, okay, fine, so I got solar panel. Not solar panel, fine, so I got electric. No, what you call this thing, man? The gas stove, fine. Alright, I got the gas stove. It's okay. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to get my bonus money and I'm gonna get solar panel, because clearly the South Africa is never gonna do right. But she would never have done that, Yella, never, if she never got to experience Antarctica winter go from power cuts that last for 3 days because of easy nyonka. Ek sal nie en ek kan nie. Ek choose om nie te doen die dinge. Where my Yalla? So then finally she grabbed the solar panel, Yalla. She grabbed the solar panel, and then now all of a Sunday we've got like power all the day long. When there's power just 1, 2, 3 hours a day, it'll light up the whole solar panel for the whole day. It charges at night with electricity Eskom. But sometimes, because you know how Eskom, right? People being easy nyoka, and sometimes they do load shedding for 16 hours because they can. Then there's no power for the rest of the night. But at least on that day, it's at night, because at around midnight to 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. next thing the solar panel is beeping. Beeping like boom gates, just a beep. And when they beep like that, they're gonna switch off any minute now, so you have to prepare yourself to fall asleep. But at least it's like once in a blue moon, and then as soon as 9 a.m. come, the power's right back again, because then the solar panels have recharged using the sun. So never in my life do I ever go for 24 era without power. What for who? In my life, because Christ had my back. He came through for me, because I've been living a tribulation life where, even though I come from a very industrialized life where I had everything at my disposal, I was so rich. Okay, maybe not rich, I wasn't rich, I wasn't rich like a gold owning like property like Oppenheimer or the Rockefellers, because I'm Illuminati or whatever. Ek was nie rijk nie, maar ek was comfortable. Ek was comfortable, so that if at all I had load shedding, I would just sit in the office for a little bit longer, or I would go, if I'm so fried that it's gone 3 days, this power cut, I would then go to the hotel, or I'd go to a restaurant and just enjoy the Wi-Fi there, eat dinner, then come back home just to switch off the lights and, well, just to sleep, because the lights are already off. I'd do that if I had a job, like all of y'all able to like survive load shedding, because you've got an ability to get in your car and go to the mall and deal with 5-hour power cut that way. I was complaining. And then the Lord finally, he brought first the gas stove by my suggestion, and then the solar panel. Now there's no such issue. Y'all put me in tribulation, y'all mock me soos die UBUs that own cars, making them their homes. Selke mo sokolo. Y'all put me in debt. Ek is a arme lady now, broke like a leg. Can't do anything for myself, but the Lord has been the one to come through for me. First with the not electric stove, but the gas stove that Klaus Schwab wants nothing to do with, and then next thing the solar panel I'm catered to. But you see, no woon ons in a season called Grace, and julle speel kindergames, speel ons nie like die Olympics is die games die met God's grace. the Here is grace. You are just dlalling with it. You're bapaling like it's Chicago, like it's Mgusha, like it's Bati. So because you're playing games now with God's grace, you're going to endure the worst time in the history of the human race, such as no time compares to it, like in the book of Daniel, in Daniel, I believe 7. And in Revelation somewhere, it is written that this is the worst time in history. Matthew 24:2, worst time in history. Don't no time compare to it. No way are you going to discover some other time that is comparing to it. So even this year, which I'm doing to show you a little bit of a tribulation life after you come from opulence, there's a pin drop in the ocean yellow, because right now as I'm speaking to you, I'm chilling on an electric blanket at 50 minutes past midnight, and I've got electricity 24 hours a day, even though my country has load shedding, and I've got a gas stove to basically just keep on burning fire, even though there's no electricity. My Mac computer never die, because the Lord will have me do this work, and nobody's gonna go and take away the gospel from the hands of those that the Lord God Almighty will insist that they go preach the gospel. The Lion of the tribe of Judah has a reward, who can but prophesy. So you can't take the words of life from whoever the Lord has sent to go and give them. But yellow, in the tribulation, you're going to go through so much nonsense, that it's not going to be easy for you to evangelize. If anything, you're not going to do it easy. So God has to send 144,000. He has to go and send angels over here to go and preach. He had to tell you not to take the mark of the beast. He has to go and bring the 2 witnesses that are going to get killed in front of everybody on TV and rise to the heavens again with the world spitting on the shoes. Everybody being scared that that's what happened, but the world is spitting on the shoe anyway. Yeah, that's what you're going through. It's going to be such a horrible time that the gospel shoes, the happy feet like the penguin that I am, because I get to make all those jokes. Ek is 'n gunstelinke joke maker. Ek is so hilarious. Anyway, whatever. So the happy feet, the penguin, no more. You know, the joy and the glory, you're going to miss it. You're going to wish that you had done the better thing and love the Lord. For us to give the gospel, this work we do, we love it so much. It's our gunsteling ding om te doen. Everything else we can shift it to the side because it's so boring until we do this work. The work of the Lord, we can check. Y'all know that I can talk for hours, era upon era upon era. Y'all kan ek praat Y'all sam yo Karabo. I say tired Aren't you exhausted? I'm like, you know what, guys? I can't even feel it. If I were to be very bad, but like just honest, I don't even feel it. I don't feel it. That makes I realize, there's been era. There's been era, because that's just the love of God. You know, when it's coursing through your veins like hemoglobin and some blood, you can't feel. When you're just sitting around for hours. It's not like the way it is when you're in school and your teacher's really boring. It's really fun. It's like, do what you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. Ja moeg. Ek kyk van die woord, ek baie moeg wees. Ek voel nie die moegoms nie. Ek voel nie die moegoms nie. Maar you're gonna wanna have the burning fire of the gospel. Prophesy, you're gonna wanna preach, you're gonna wanna tell people about the dream of the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. You're going to want to tell people, share the dream and the vision of how one country is going to drop a bomb up another country. You're going to be like, I wish I could tell somebody I used to have a YouTube channel where I could just go and share prophecy, but instead I decided to go and eat a lot of food because I did mukbang. You're going to want to burst, because it's never been different and it never will be different. The Lion of the tribe of Judah will roar, and so you will want to prophesy, but because of how persecuted you're going to be, you'll be more like running away than prophesying. And if you try to prophesy, you will prophesy with a knife on your cheek, with people telling you, tell me where your ma is. You will prophesy being told in an enhanced interrogation session where they're trying to make you take the mark of the beast. You will then prophesy to them finally that Jesus Christ is coming, but by then they've made out of you, like, you know, that pin cushion. Have you ever seen that pin cushion when you're out, you're making a jersey or you're knitting or whatever, and you just put a whole bunch of pins in there so that you can make your garment because you're a designer? You're gonna be a pin cushion, but without the acupuncture. They're gonna put pins in your body. They're gonna go and they will like nail you to the cross again and again to try and make you forget about Jesus. So that by the time you go to the guillotine, pin cushion, unrecognizable, you've got so much blood on your face because they put needles in it. But you did not want to prophesy. So I'm prophesying today. This year my life is a seer life soos 'n lemoen nie. Is 'n seer life soos 'n lemoen. Soos vinegar. Is nie nice nie. Ek hou van an apartment and ek desire that I should have one. Ek hou van design, you know, making a place really cute and buying little trinkets. I'm very artsy-fartsy, you can see, man. Yeah. And so it's hurt me very deep. It's put a knife in my heart. Ek is hartseer. Ek is seer soos 'n lemoen en ek is hartseer. Omdat ek kan nie 'n huis gedecorate nie, omdat ek hou van decoration. Maar jylle, that's the only issue wat ek het vandag nie. Nobody is yet clapping me, ravasaring me. At least they're not doing it physically. These guys in the occult, man, they can clap me. But nobody is physically clapping me, ravasing me. Nobody's grabbing me by my neck. Nobody's handling me by the washing. Nobody's telling me, take the mark of the beast or else, or at least not in a very physical sense. They're trying to influence me, motivate me to take it because you don't have money, Ms. Karabo. Was jou geld, sister? Sy het my geld geroep soos 'n kind op the school playground when you're picking her up from school. So don't come here and tell me nonsense. My money is in your pocket. That's where my money is, in your pocket. Open your pocket, you find my rand. Open your pocket, you find my dollar. Open your pocket, you find my euro and my pound. You find all the currency that I could ever made in this planet. So don't come and tell me where's your money. You have it. Anyway, whatever. Let's go back to the point. My life ain't jack in comparison, Yella, to what you're going to be going through, because according to the tribulation, it can't possibly be jack. I can't possibly live such a hard life like I'm Annie that it'll ever compare. Because according to the Bible prophecy, there is prophecy again. According to the Bible, there is no time that compares to the time that you're about to find. You're going to be such an armor skeptical, shaking like a leaf. Nobody's going to care. Blizzard in your skin. Nobody's going to care. Calloused feet. Nobody's going to care. I'm cons. Bunions. Nobody's going to care that you can sacha them with an axe. Nobody's going to care that you can sacha your bunions with an axe, even though you always used to go for a pedicure every week. Look at you. Now your bunions, your cons, as deep duck. You gotta file them down with a chainsaw. But don't nobody out there be dissing you for your ghettos. Cause it's a hard knock, it's a true arama skipsala. Because y'all would not poverty stricken your spirits prior to that. You will live in your cars, making them your homes. Oh, and you will miss a tiled roof. You will miss the electric blanket. You will realize that Karabo's life was but a pin drop in the ocean, but it was a good enough mock-up, a prototype, an example nyana to help us understand how to survive the tribulation, because during the season when she was going through hell on earth, we could not fathom how she is surviving every single day. How she's holding on to this God that's clearly done nothing for her. Yeah, you're gonna remember the time like you Michael Jackson. You will remember when you used to look at me. Remember when I had no one. You will remember how suicidal you wanted me, how suicidal you made me, and you will also remember how I didn't kill myself despite that suicidalism. You will remember the time. And during the tribulation, so was Michael Jackson, Yella, remembering the time when Karabo didn't kill herself, even though she was very suicidal at certain spots. You also don't get to kill yourself and take yourself to heaven, because if it was that easy, people would quickly repent after the rapture and then just go with the church. Suicide is not an option. You will remember the time when I went through what you are going through all the time, when Cran K survived the very thing that is out here ravasaring you, tumparing you, trapping you, putting lines of bruises on your skin. You will finally remember that even with Karabo's very hard life, that was not seen. Like Whitney Houston in comparison to the tribulation. Ooh, that's tribulation. Oh, it's so painful. I see right through the Antichrist system. I can't trust nobody here, cause in the past 5 weeks we've been betrayed by 7 saints in our camp, and we've had to flee till we lost our buggy, and now we're in a cold place where there's no car anymore to charge any generator. Nothing. Antichrist, I don't understand it. Hoekom het ek nie Karabo geglo? Sy praat die waar, maar ek het nie haar geglo. You will wish you had listened to me. You will be betrayed by so many people in your camp that you're gonna lose your cars, that you made your homes. Those of you that prosper to find non-electric vehicles that cannot charge no phones, can't charge no batteries, can't do nothing. Just old school 1922 Chevrolet. You're gonna have to leave your Chevrolet behind, because if you're going up mountains, ain't no roads. Even inroads of bushes. Vehicles out there be sitting stationary for no other purpose but to use the car as an insulator, something that's gonna warm you. Because what? Yabanda. And even then, I mean, you can't easily just go into the city center and get petrol. You're gonna have to, you know, hook up reserves of petrol in the gupu. You're gonna have to abandon the gupus, your fuel, your reserves, because people be out here trying to take the mark of the beast because they're sick and tired of not having ARVs, and they're gonna tell on your camp, call all of you out. You're gonna leave your Chevrolet, you're gonna leave your fuel reserves, you're gonna leave matches. You're just gonna flee on foot. And now, where it is that you gathered for yourselves matchsticks, yalla, at least ne. Yeah, now you're gonna be like the Khoisan, go rub them together. Rub, blow in, rub, blow in. Okay, somebody help me, you Jimmy. Blow while I rub. I can't do this by myself. And then Jimmy's like, but this grass is wet. What did you expect? It's been raining. Well, where do you expect us to get fired? If we don't get fired, we're gonna die from hypothermia. What is wrong with you? Then you find yourselves huddling together like sardines so you don't freeze in the hypothermic blizzard of winter. When you're sleeping under a tree because somebody out here massacred your camp where all the supplies you bought to prepare living out there in the wilderness, you had to leave them behind with your Chevrolet. And now, at this particular juncture, you will have to be made like carcasses in the wilderness, die from the elements, or I guess struggle to run, be so emaciated, have no resources until you get caught. And now you have to be made like as a pincushion by the Antichrist, who upon interrogating you to call out the rest of your camp, you don't. And by the time you die, your whole face is bleeding because after all, like I said, they made out of you a pincushion, like there's some designers, and you that leather. Hey. Yo, you don't know what time it is. You don't know what time it is. When I was showering, I couldn't stop but thinking about Matosa. They UPUs, they own cars, making them their homes. I'm soko right now. The body of Christ, I soko. John 15, the world hates disciples. John 16, the day is coming when those who kill you will do so thinking they're doing a service to God. Yeah, there was a time when the church as a collective, like all of it, if people was suffering, everybody was suffering. Everybody was going through it. Everybody was scared of Saul, en route Damascus. Yeah, everybody knew that this guy liked to kill them Christians. Everybody was scared of Nero in Rome. Everybody was scared of who is this? Like every Christian, every Hebrew was subject to the tyranny of Nebuchadnezzar's demand to worship that statue, the demand to worship the statue of Darius. Everybody, every Christian, every believer, every Jew in Purim, every single Jew, not even a single one be out to standing outside. Every single Jew was under the tyranny of Haman. Every single Jew in the story of Esther, in ancient Persia, in ancient Iran, Persia, was in danger. Everybody. That's why Mordecai went to Esther and was like, whoa, chill. When he went to Esther, and Esther was like, when Mordecai was asking for help pertaining the Jews, and Esther was like, if a scepter is not brought out, I could die. And then Mordecai was like, well, chill, hang, make like a flower and say it with me now, belong. I make like a pot plant and just bloom. Help for the Jews will come from some other place if not from you. And when it comes, you're not going to struggle to receive the sword because you're just going to be like another one of our enemies. But who knows if you've not been put in this position for such a time as this. Essentially, when the Jews get judged, when the Jews get manhandled and mangled, everybody that's a Jew goes down, even the Jews in the palace. But when the Jews get delivered, everybody of the Jews gets delivered, even when you're chilling in a prison. But if you was that betraying Jew lady that enabled the persecution, or rather sat back and did nothing, just kind of turned your cheek, hey? Sat back and did nothing, turning your gangster an easy cheek on your fellow man, turning a blind eye. Yo, when then the Lord delivers the Jews anyway, you're going to be handed a place with the hypocrites. You're going to be handed a place with the mutineers, the miscreants. You're going to be just like yet another Persian that out here is on a genocidal tip like Haman to end or take out every single Jew. So when then they out here raiding the king's palace, the queen and the king, even though the queen is a Hebrew girl, y'all gonna die too. Y'all gonna die too. Yeah, but Esther woke up and smelled the proverbial coffee, did she not? And she was like, oh my, I suppose you make sense over there. How could I be so daft? I apologize, I really do. And then Esther took a risk and Aja appeared before her man and he put out a scepter and so she didn't die. And then we know how that story ends. Go and read the story of Esther in the Bible. Alright? So all of y'all out here not making like ancient Rome, not making like Persia, not making like proper. All of us are in it together. The UBUs, and they own cars, making them their homes. Ooh, sail and kissing colonton. Oh, risocola rote. Socolocologon, risocola rote. Hey, risocola rote. Hey, you will see who after midnight so harorasa. Lankutla. Yeah, no. Christianity is one of those. Everybody sways in the current with everybody. Is that basic? Happy, who happy, and if at all, happy, and others are not of God truly, even though they claim to be of God. The body of Christ in history has generally, literally all of them, or the body of God, even the ancient Jews, they've all suffered if suffering was happening against the Jews, but they've also all rejoiced and dwelt in great prosperity if there was great prosperity for all the Jews. It was always a camaraderie. There was never any man left out. So if you can sit where you're sitting, duping your gangster self, imaginative of the fact that you can be prosperous in the same geographical location, I can understand a different location having a harder time than you. But if you're sitting in the exact same geographical location as saints that are suffering, and you're not suffering, somewhere over the rainbow there is Moncho Husabola. Redemption, yabona. Somewhere over the rainbow, Mudimu only burns hardy flames. Because you don't get to be Esther in the palace while the Jews are facing genocide. You don't get to lie to the Lord in his eye and say that you're a goo. If you live in a country where other saints are suffering and you're not doing something to eradicate that issue. Somewhere over the rainbow, you're the Esther that ignored Mordecai's admonition, and so the sword comes to your household and you perish with your king. And then it's a coup. It's giving state capture. It's giving overwhelming of an entire authoritative structure that did not care for us. The tribulation is a recovery to that mindset that is so precious that we as the body of Christ appear to have lost. The unwise virgins with no oil in their cray-cray lamps. That's what's good. Yeah, you're gonna find out that you don't get to live next door to a saint and have two different socioeconomic statuses, where the other is literally like Lazarus, the way that the income distribution is so vastly scattered, and then you be the rich man. You don't get to have a rich man Lazarus dichotomy, but there be two saints in the room. I'm sorry, it's an impossibility. It is a syllogistical error. It is that which is impossible to occur in one structure. It is an unfinishable sentence, for it lacks grammatical sense. You cannot dwell in prosperity while there are bottom feeders underneath your feet and everybody in that room be a saint. Somebody here is the rich man and another here is Lazarus. Somewhere over the rainbow, the Lord is gonna let you know, I don't know you, depart from me, work of iniquity, but you will have been imaginative in the run up to that you are safe in me. But my daughter that calls herself Christian, sitting right next to you, also calling yourself a Christian, is well, while you are thriving, who here among you is mine, not you. Zah! Lights out. It's giving abyss, eternal lake of fire, weeping and gnashing of teeth, smoke of torment rising up forever, and asking Karabo to put a drop of water in my, look at me, on my tongue, because these flames are exceedingly scorching. You be out to making like the rich man in that bosom, in that other nasty place of Abraham's bosom, asking Karabo to finally give you a drop of water, because look how the tables have turned. Who's got abundance now? I feel like it's me. I'm angry, as you can tell, so kyale lanza. Mara kyale forisa at the same time. I'm like that nurse with a feisty edge. Oy I care, yamara ase ke go le bandage again. Anyway. So who you be, who you is, if you be left behind, you know who you be. You that rich man dude, you need redemption. Who you be, who you is. You can't even laugh at my jokes because y'all slabber like shards are breaking in your hearts. And those of y'all that are here listening to me prior to the rapture, shame on you for ignoring these truths and thinking you can chill on my chest like a millstone indefinitely and not have the Lord whammy you out of the way with a slap. Not have the Lord cankerously you away from